So, and I know that they talked about the All-Star Game, especially now with Four Nations, and
Yeah.
well, the Islanders and their fans have been promised a All-Star, and they deserve this. And so, as they're trying to kind of dance around, it was a great event. I don't know. I mean, if you want to compare it against an All-Star, you want to try and replicate that. I think that's a tough task. I don't know. I like that they're recognizing that it's if not broken, then it definitely needs some amending, which is rare from Gary because usually everything is good, as you say. But I am curious to see what they're going to try or how they're going to approach All-Star games / weekends moving forward.
Well, and it's a tough one to sell, right? Even though, again, the league would say it isn't. And it's not for the jaded hockey fan. It's for the local hockey fan and for the sponsors of the game locally and nationally. That's where they get their reward. And they get to see these players in an environment that isn't supercharged and intense and all of that. Well, again, the counter to that is, well, that's what makes the game special. And we just saw that at the Four Nations, right? Where the players bought in, 100% bought in. But now that you have an international calendar that rolls every 2 years, is it imperative to have that All-Star weekend? Because you've got these other showcase events. And, the league will make do on its promise to the owners of the New York Islanders. They will get an event. We just don't know what that event is. And is it an on-ice event? I mean, it sounds a little goofy, but, all these great players are going to be funneling through the New York area on their way to the Olympics in Italy. Could you have some sort of fancy gala or some sort of media availability or something to justify just the New York Islanders are a historic franchise and this is a stop into the NHL getting back into the Olympic game? I don't know. I know that the league is going to do right by the New York Islanders, but I think the future of the NHL All-Star most definitely is in jeopardy and right now is absolutely in question.
Can I make a suggestion? Because I've heard this talked about a bunch by people like yourself. Yeah. The game's cooked. It's not going to happen. I still like the skills.
Yeah.
And you could easily make a Canada skills team, a USA skills team, a Europe skills team. And those are all the players we're going to be watching the following days at the Olympics. Just leaning right into what we know is going to be a huge marquee event. Like to have the pros back at the Olympics for the first time since Sochi 12 years ago. Like, would you lean into that? I think that
it comes down to whether the players care, right?
The skills they always do, like come rip it, right?
Yeah, they
I mean, Kucherov dogged it in Toronto, but I think it's a better shot than the games.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially when that's on the horizon so closely after.
And they're careful not to want to overtax the players, right? Like from that competitive aspect, because next season, if you look at the schedule next year, and it's going to be a challenging one. They have 14 fewer calendar days to work with. So you're going to get a number of back-to-backs. And I think there'll be stretches where teams are actually playing 5 games in 7 days. Like just nonsense. But what are you going to do? Given the matrix is starting, which they declared next season, I think the regular season opener is October 7th. So unless you're playing in September, which they have talked about, and staying on your calendar of then hoisting the cup in June, you're not adding more days. So it gets more of a challenge just trying to get rest for the players.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.